Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comment section. Like and share the video as well. What to expect on the April 17th edition of Raw. Of course, we've now had the Superstar shake-up, so all the superstars that are due for Raw will be on the show this evening. Of course, everyone had moved from Raw to SmackDown should be on SmackDown. So how is that going to affect things as WWE heads into Columbus, Ohio at the Value City Arena for tonight's episode of Raw? With the focal points given to us via ringsidenews.com is that WWE are going to focus on the Braun Strowman-Roman Reigns feud. Now, this actually kind of gives the feeling that this perhaps will take place at Payback. There has been rumours it could be an ambulance match. Of course, Roman Reigns did actually attack Braun Strowman at a WWE live event this week. It seems a miracle that Roman Reigns would come back that quickly after the attack given to him by Braun Strowman. For me, I think it made more sense to keep Roman Reigns off TV for a couple of weeks, even if the match was made for him to not return until Payback. It just feels that the whole thing seems unrealistic to begin with, really, but for the fact that he actually comes back so quickly feels even more unrealistic. So for me, really, this superhuman rivalry in one way should put people, the characters really over with the younger generation. For me, I'm kind of finding it hard to suspend my disbelief personally, but WWE is meant to focus on that on Raw, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it. Will Roman Reigns be in the building when it's now a television broadcast, or will they actually be just looking over what happened last week and just building towards maybe an ambulance match at Payback? We'll have to wait and see. Another rumour match to settle unfinished business is Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Seth Rollins, of course, will probably more than likely put his attention to Joe. Joe probably want to put his attention to Rollins after, of course, Stephanie going through a table at WrestleMania in the match with Seth Rollins, with Triple H, and of course as well Triple H actually losing the match. But as well, Rollins is supposed to unveil a new finisher now. He's done with the pedigree, so it'll be interesting to see how that's going to be. It's going to be very similar to Okada's finisher in New Japan. He's almost sets up where he pulls people in for the clothesline, but it's going to be a big high knee instead. So be looking forward to seeing that actually play out maybe the first time on Raw tonight. There is a feud expected between Dean Ambrose and The Miz, the two SmackDown stars on Raw for the Intercontinental title. Perhaps this could happen at Payback. We'll have to wait and see. And the last thing is Nia Jax, the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. I've said my opinion on this already. The rumour going around is it's going to be a multi-women's match. It's expected to be Bayley, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, and maybe even Mickie James. For me, I would have the one-on match here. Bayley and Nia Jax. Get Jax out of the title picture, because although we've pushed her up really strongly right now, she isn't ready for the spotlight that she's got at present. For me, I think it makes sense for her. Okay, she'll be protected with the other women there, but if Bayley defeats the whole division, it's not good on the whole. So for me personally, we need a Bayley-Nia Jax match, and then we can move on to, say, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, and then towards SummerSlam, we then can look at maybe Bayley versus Sasha Banks. That's the way that I would play it out. Elsewhere on the news, apparently 205 is not doing very well on the WWE network. Apparently more people are interested in watching the likes of SmackDown and not staying around for 205 after the finish. We've seen it in attendance when people are watching SmackDown live, and it seems on the network it's not going down too well either. I've said before what I think is wrong with the Cruiserweight division, and I'll put, if I can, that video at the end of this video for you to check that out in full. But to give you a quick briefing here quickly, there is so much wrestling content each and every week. I don't think fans are going to be able to watch that much wrestling content and take it all in. And if they don't have time for it, a lot of people will just watch Raw and SmackDown. One of the things that is wrong, though, with the Cruiserweight division or the 205 is it's not followed on from the Cruiserweight Classic well enough. All the people that were doing so well in the Cruiserweight Classic were not signed to WWE or not at the focal point. We're seeing a lot of people that were knocked out in the first or the second round, and we're supposed to see them as creditable. They weren't built well in that tournament, so why are they being built so well now on 205 Live? People like Mustafa Ali should have been put actually in the quarters or the semis rather than Kota Ibushi. Now, Ibushi, of course, was someone that was making the tournament kind of noteworthy to begin with, but of course he should have been putting other talent over rather. Okay, you could say Cedric Alexander. He did kind of make Alexander a household name with such an incredible match, but at the same time, when someone like Alexander loses to Ibushi, it didn't do the same sort of building work. You see all these guys down there now that lost so early on. Only I think Noam Dar who was in the quarters, Rich Swann as well, that was in the semis as well. These guys are sticking around now, but we don't even really see much of Grand Metalik, really. TJ Perkins hasn't worked out, and he was crowned the winner of the tournament. So for me, that's kind of, I think, one of the real major problems with 205 Live. Some people I've seen in the comments on the report on ringsidenews.com have suggested that they're not happy with the storytelling. I think it's okay. It's a bit cheesy in places, but on the whole, I'm fairly happy with how the 205 program is put before us by the stories that I'm watching. It's as interesting as watching Raw or SmackDown. For me personally, I just think that the names are not being built as creditable, and without Neville and Austin Aries, I think the division would be in serious trouble. Shelton Benjamin not returning to WWE right away, according to RingsideNews.com as well. Now, he's advertised to work the BCW promotion on April 21st at Elks Lodge in Queens, New York. Now, many had speculated that he was going to be returned to WWE once he was medically cleared following surgery on his rotator cuff last year. With him not directly returning to WWE, this could be an indication his status with the WWE may have changed. Of course, things can change at any time, and if he is going to sign with the company, I will keep you posted on this channel. So that's everything pretty much in a nutshell. One more final note, and it is actually to do with Raw this evening. Finn Balor is in Columbus, Ohio. He is going to be tested by the doctors this evening. PW Insider reports this. So for me, really, it will be interesting to see what happens. Of course, he was actually pulled from live events this past week, and he will need to pass an impact test in order to be able to clear to return to action this week. Of course, he did take a stiff elbow from Jinder Mahal, which gave him the concussion. I've discussed this in length already, and I don't think Finn should be punished for this, but it would be interesting to see if he's good to go. But I would say I don't expect him to be in the ring at all this evening, even if he is cleared. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, of course, things can always change. But that's everything for me anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. Hit the like if you have liked it. A SmackDown preview will come for you tomorrow as well. I hope you enjoy it Monday Night Raw this evening. Please like and share the video. Please subscribe to the channel right now as well. And leave me your feelings in the comments below. Do you think Raw is going to be good tonight? I don't know. It's going to feel fresher, but I'm not sure it's necessarily going to be better. We'll have to wait and see as and when it shows. But let me know your feelings right now. Let's talk wrestling. This is SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for watching.